everybody, what is going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. Recently somebody commented on one of my videos and they suggested that I take a look at some of these fishing kits you can buy on Amazon. Now, I have made somewhat of a practice on this channel of reviewing crazy lures or cheap lures from Amazon, so I thought this should be a good idea. So I went on Amazon and looked around, and my oh my, there are a lot of fishing kits on Amazon, and of course, I purchased one while I was there. Here it is right here. This is a fishing kit I bought off Amazon. It cost me $20. Let's take a look at it and see if it's any good. And here it is, guys. This is the kit right here. Like I said, this only cost me $20, and I gotta say, this thing's got some heft to it. It definitely has a lot of stuff in it, so let's take a look at what we got. Alright, let's start off with the first thing I see. We have some grubs right here. This is a basic curltail grub, and I gotta say, first impressions, the plastic feels really nice and soft. Usually when you buy cheap grubs, the plastic's really stiff and not very pliable. We also get a little baggie full of small grubs as well. These are really tiny, like little crappie grubs, and these don't feel as good as a big grub. The plastic feels a lot more stiff, but we get two colors. We get an orange one and a lime green one, so that is interesting. We get a couple other soft baits in here as well. We get a tiny little lime green swim bait. I gotta say, the overall design of the swim bait looks really cool, except for the fact that the plastic is insanely tough. It is super tough, and I highly doubt this bait would have good action in the water. We also get a little white crawfish thing here. Very terrible design on this, but the plastic is slightly softer, but the design of this thing is really sad. Moving on, we get two hollow-bellied frogs right here, and I recognize these frogs. I actually did a review on these frogs. These are the cheapest frogs you can buy on Amazon, and I gotta say, from first-hand experience with these frogs, they're not the worst frogs in the world. They definitely will catch you fish. We get a green one right here, and we also get a yellow one, so we get two colors of these frogs. We also get a little perch swim bait with built-in hooks. It's got a built-in hook on the top and a little treble hook on the bottom. A little perch design. I recognize this style of bait. I bought one of these and did a video about it. It is one of the cheaper baits you can buy on Amazon. This one feels a little bit more robust than the one I tested, but it's pretty much the same design. The plastic does feel a little more limber. We also get two more grubs, just like the first one. We have a red one now, and we have a clear gold one. So those are all the baits in the top tray right here. Let's take a look at what we got in the bottom tray. Two Senko style baits. We have kind of a pinkish one right here, and we have a green one. These baits feel a little bit cheap, and the plastic isn't as limber as other baits I've tried, but I'm pretty sure you could catch fish with these. A Senko worm like this catches fish pretty much anywhere. Even though these are cheaper baits, I'm pretty sure you could catch something. We also get a really weird looking centipede worm, and I gotta say, this worm is quite disturbing. Centipedes are not my favorite thing on planet Earth. We also have another one of those grubs just kind of thrown in there. Boom, we got a little lipless crankbait right here. I gotta say, I dig the overall paint design. It's got a nice holographic finish on it. Puts off some flash. It's got a red head. It's got two hooks, and it's made of plastic. We also get a jerk bait in the package. Here's the jerk bait out of the package. It's got that same holographic finish, but it's got kind of a blue design on it. Again, guys, most of these crankbaits are very cheap, but I'm pretty sure they could catch a fish given the right circumstances. Ooh, we have some kind of a topwater. All right, take a look at that. Here we have a topwater walking bait with, again, with that same holographic finish. Two hooks made out of the same plastic with a little rattle in it. Alright guys, the stuff keeps coming. We got another crankbait. This bait has the same basic holographic finish right here. It's just your basic little shallow running crankbait made out of the same plastic like the other ones. And the last hard bait we have in the box right here is a tiny little popper with the same holographic finish. Are you guys noticing a pattern? It has two hooks on it. Again, it's made of the same plastic. And I gotta say, this seems like a decent little popper. I'm pretty sure you could catch a fish with this if you put a little feathered trailer hook on there. Alright, so that is all of the hard baits in the box. They were able to fit quite a few of them in here, but now we have some other baits in here, some spinner baits. Alright guys, here are the two spinner baits that came in the kit, and I gotta say, this is by far the most impressive thing I've seen in the box. The skirt feels actually pretty good on them. Doesn't have those really cheap skirts. It's got a head with 2 decent little eyes on it. It's got a nice wire frame and 2 blades with beads. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty decent looking spinnerbait. It's got a very interesting color design, a pink and a yellow. They also give you a bunch of these green steel leaders, so that is cool. And a little pack of hooks. These hooks are actually pretty decent. We also get a bunch of snap swivels, some jig heads, some brass sinkers, and some beads in here as well. Last but not least, in the box, we get a ton of spoons. And I gotta say, guys, these spoons are actually pretty decent looking. They're made out of good quality metal. They got sharp hooks on them. They're not as heavy as, say, a jigging spoon, but they seem to be built really, really well, and I have no doubt I can catch fish with this. So guys, there you go. That is what you get inside a $20 fishing kit from Amazon. So, is it worth the money, or is it garbage? Well, I gotta say, first of all, you get a ton of stuff. For 20 bucks, you get loads of tackle, and that in and of itself is a pretty cool thing. Now, when it comes down to the quality of the lures, that is where I have some mixed feelings. Starting off with the soft plastics, I am not too cracked about them. The plastic is pretty stiff, and they're not going to have as good of an action as other baits when you get them in the water. When it comes to the hard baits you get in this kit, they are very, very cheaply made, but I'm pretty sure you could catch fish with them given the scenario. But these are not baits that I'm going to take out with me on every fishing trip. I have baits that perform way better than these. Now on to some of the lures that actually surprised me. The spinner baits were really surprising. The build quality seems pretty decent on these. I'm pretty sure you could smoke some bass with them, and overall they seem like pretty decent baits. The same can be said for these spoons. I am fairly certain I'll be able to catch plenty of fish with these, so these seem like some pretty decent baits. So is this kit worth the money? Well, if you're somebody who's on an extremely tight budget and you just want to buy a bunch of lures and you want a wide variety of stuff and you don't really care about the quality that much as long as it can catch fish, then this might be a viable option for you. There are definitely some baits in here that can catch fish. Also, if you're somebody who likes to try really weird lures that you may never have tried before and you want to experiment with different stuff, you might find this kit interesting and fun. As far as myself goes, I would not buy this kit. There are some good lures in here. There are some lures that I might try out, like the spoons and the spinnerbaits, but overall the stuff is really cheaply made, and I think if you took your 20 bucks and bought some really decent crankbaits or some really decent spinnerbaits or some really decent plastics, they would go a lot farther and catch you a lot more fish. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel right here. You can check out my last video right here, and if you want to support the channel, you can check out my line of Signature Series swim baits down in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.